It's the Daily Rabbit Hole. It's a kickback session. I'm going to explain why I'm doing this tonight. Just as surefire as I get my sound in line. We're looking good on the screen right now. Not too bad, not too shabby. But as all good productions, you got to make sure your stuff is running good, right? Got to make sure your sound's okay. Definitely don't want to be out here echoing, sounding all crazy. Definitely not. But tonight is the kickback session. It's Friday night. Really have no segment, really have no key piece of information to go over. Hold on. Sorry, my wife is texting me. She wants me to know if I had dinner. All right. All right, so it's Friday. So listen, the reason I'm doing this tonight is not because I have something immediate that I want to talk about. To be honest, kind of decompressing from all of this conspiracy stuff, right? Again, you watch all these shows and everyone's hitting you with topics in the same news and the same reports. I kind of figured, hey, we could do a kickback tonight. Just kind of hang out, drink. If you got your drink, I got my drink. Get your cigar, get your vice, whatever you choose, um, and enjoy yourself tonight. I really don't want to get nothing crazy. We're going to talk on a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about why the Daily Rabbit Hole expanded. We're going to talk about how shitty the censorship is across all social media platforms. We're going to talk about what's going on in Texas with Carmelo Anthony and that young man Austin. I think McCaffrey is his name. Might be Metcalf. We're going to talk about some well placed psyops going on and a few other conversations that need to be had tonight. Um, but I do know this. Hold on. It's wife again. But I do know this. Are you guys kind of like over this whole situation already with, tariffs, Trump? And I'm sure everyone's excited right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of happy to see some change happen in America. Quite glad for that. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I still trust these people. I'm not. I refuse to. Absolutely refuse it. Not doing it. Let me tell you why. It ain't got nothing to do with us. And I'm going to tell you why. Like, what do you mean it ain't got nothing to do with us? What I'm saying right now is this: the powers that be are going to dismantle the system however they see fit and however they want to do it. That's entirely on them. Now, as far as the people below them, we, I think, are our best saving grace right now. Like, to keep putting hope and faith in these people is almost kind of comical. But what I'm saying is while we're waiting for someone up here to come down and help us, we could be doing so much for ourselves if we weren't fighting and bickering and arguing over stuff that just really doesn't kind of matter. Like, and I'm gonna say it doesn't matter. Like the incident that went on in Texas with Carmelo in Austin. While that is a tragedy in itself, families have families are mourning. Families have lost, about to lose their son to the prison system. Whatever you think about it, don't get so caught up in it to where you're on the social media profiles trolling people. Like I find that strange. Like, you guys are so hard pressed about racial matters in America. Racial matters in America have been this way for some time. And I'm not going to get on here and preach to you guys about racial matters. That's not my job. What I'm going to say is whatever happened in that situation happened. We have a life lost and we have another one getting ready to go to the system. However you feel about it, always remember that there are people involved and you were not there. The press is going to run this story into the ground. Ben Crumpton for CNN is going to show up. I'm sure of it. And they're gonna sit down with the family and they're gonna talk and they're gonna parade these families around for their views on legacy media until people have an aneurysm and do something stupid. And To say things like that, you might think, yeah, this dude's kind of just trying to troll. No, this is a kickback. We're just talking candidly. Please feel free to leave comments and talk to me and whatnot. If you want to find me, I'm on YouTube right now, specifically the Daily Rabbit Hole. I'm on Rumble also right now. I'm not on Facebook. This isn't going to be a Facebook conversation tonight. But we are hanging out. We're going to have some conversations. Just a regular kickback, no script, no segments, nothing. I kind of want to talk to you. And before I go deeper into my conversation, feel free to follow me on the dailyrabbithole.org, new website, sign up for the newsletter. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, on all these lovely social media sites where you can find me. All right? Telegram, the Daily Rabbit Hole, Instagram, Daily Rabbit Hole, TikTok, the Daily Rabbit Hole _ All right? Relax, guys. We're not getting too crazy into anything tonight. I want to hang out with you guys. I want to sit here and talk to you and, see where this goes. And you're probably like, what do you mean, see where this goes? So understand something. Like what's happening right now in America, most people would be like, well, this is guaranteed a psyop. Everything that you're doing right now in America is like a well-placed psyop. And if it's not, it's just being commandeered as one. And that's not really anyone's fault particularly. But understand that when you see situations like what's going on with Carmelo and Austin, that one stokes the chords of Americans. And the news knows that. And all media knows that. If you're anybody really important, you've already dug into it and gave a whole brief synopsis as to why you think this and that, this and that. You've probably picked a side and you given so much commentary. This is really my first time mentioning this conversation really to anybody. One, because I don't really talk to anybody like that outside of like my wife and a couple family friends and people I hang with, small circle. But as far as like making, trying to get press off of this, not really my thing. I'm gonna say a couple things, couple honest assumptions about all of this, but it really hasn't got much of a press run from me, and I'm gonna tell you why. I try not to capitalize off people's tragedies. It's not a good feeling, and I get as media and this new branch of media and information and streaming and what I'm doing. Sure, one could say like, "Hey, Marcus, you could definitely like get some tread off this." Yeah, sure, but are you guys paying attention to how it's making people act? Here's my honest thought. I'm gonna give you my honest thought about this whole entire situation with Carmelo Anthony and Austin. Get into that just for a little bit. I find it stranger that people around them are reacting the way that they are, and we've seen these reactions before. We saw these reactions when George Floyd basically had got killed, had the knee on his neck, ended up dying. Same exact moral tug at the strings of America. Black people were divided, white people were divided, everyone's upset, everyone's saying ignorant stuff to each other. The news is just sending this stuff out. Everyone's getting press runs on it. Press run, you get a press run, you get a press run, everyone gets a press run. And the whole time, you got America's associating or identifying with all of this. And I understand why they identify it because if you're looking at me right now on camera, you would understand that I'm a man of color. Okay. I am not identifying with this just because it has nothing to do with me. I appreciate what it means to be myself and I mean to be black, but I don't identify with everything. I don't identify with anything like that if I don't have to. It has nothing to do with me. I don't identify. I can empathize. I can sit here and have the conversation all day about I empathize with both sides of the family because lives are lost, families are destroyed right now. But I'm never gonna sit here and lose my shit and identify with something and start going against the grain, calling names, saying people are this and that, or who deserves justice or who doesn't deserve justice. I don't do that. In that situation, it's a very unfortunate situation that that's how it played out. I wasn't there. I've heard multiple stories. I've read multiple stories. Carmelo was jumped. Other side says he wasn't jumped. Some sides say he just pulled out the knife and got reckless. Some people saying Austin is not that kid. Some they're saying Carmelo's not that kid. We don't know these people. So I'm not gonna hop my happy ass in that. What I am gonna say is the truth will come out, and who was there is there, and I'm sure there's videos because we're in an era of recording everything. So I feel like at this point we would have videos. That's just me. Now, do I think the gentleman's guilty? Not for me to decide. I wasn't there. He felt the need to defend himself. Again, was not there. Austin felt the need to tell him to come from under the tent. I don't know what happened. I do know that someone lost their life, and that's Austin. It is what it is. Carmelo's locked up on $1 million bond looking at first degree murder. This is a real situation. I could play that race baiting game. I could. It's not hard. I could sit here and say, well, they didn't do Rittenhouse like that. And they didn't do Daniel Pitty like that. And, you know, people who have choked out or killed a person of color or some type of violent act with a firearm, they didn't get that kind of treatment. Sure, I can play that game, but is the justice system fair? Fuck no. We all know that. Justice system hasn't been fair in a long time, and it's been disproportionately unfair to people of color and minority and just people in poverty because of the prison system. See, I'm not going to play this little stupid game of just saying it's disproportionately targeting black people. Not all the time, just poor people. Just so happens to be black people and poor whites and poor Mexicans. What I'm saying is this situation with Austin and Carmelo was very sensitive. Two young men, lives thrown away, families ruined. Also, that CNN and Fox and everyone can get their press run and say who's guilty and who's not guilty, right? I'm really not on that kind of time. Hold on, let me check something. Just want to make sure because I was going to check my Rumble, but my Rumble's apparently not working on my phone. So let me check my YouTube. Just like to make sure because I see myself talking on my monitor screen on my other screen right now, but I always want to make sure I am being completely heard. So, give me a second. I was going to check my Rumble, but my Rumble's apparently not working on my phone. So let me check my YouTube. Crystal clear. Finally got to figure it
My
out.
vet told me chemical flea treatments were the
Sorry
only
about
option.
that.
Here's what they didn't tell.
Stop. Sorry about that, guys. We got perfect sound. One of the few times I can get perfect sound. Knock on wood. Don't jinx it, guys. Don't jinx it. All right. But outside of that whole situation, it's unfortunate. And I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna sit here and go through that whole spew with you. Ooh, excuse me. Not gonna go through that. Just hanging out. Now, on to better things. So if you're on my page, you saw the video that I did a couple days ago about wanting the Epstein list. Because there was an article that they had figured out that Hitler was in Argentina, I believe, and he lived like 20 years longer and had like two kids. The man got married, had a family, and everything, right? Guess what? I still don't care. I absolutely do not care about that. Let me tell you why. Again, there's so much going on right now in America that I feel like that they would rather leak old information to us so that we could be pacified and forget about Epstein list. Why do you say that, Marcus? Look, man, we already assumed JFK was killed by the government. Like, let's not sugarcoat this, right? The rumor had been out there for like 60 years. Allegedly, it was Alphabet Boy agencies, inside job, numerous people involved, mass operation. In 2025, you think giving us those documents are supposed to make us feel better that we don't know who actually w- blackmailed all these people? Like, we don't know. Like, we know, yeah, Epstein did it, but who was he behind? Who was he running with, right? Why are they dropping us information that doesn't really matter? Think about this. Why are the division tactics being ramped up? When things don't work, they go to their old play cards, guys. You guys gotta come on, man. Put my cup down. Let me stare into the camera like the old people in the news days. Ugh. This is Marcus with the Daily Rap. You guys need to understand that they're fucking you right now. And me. All right? This tariff war, sure, it's a tariff war. I always ask the question of this. If China was such an issue, if China has always been an enemy and such an issue, such a problem, then why did you let them buy land near all the military bases? I gotta assume that's illegal. I got to. Like, I can't sit here and act like China buying land by all the military bases is completely normal. Let me find this for you. Let's go ahead and have our kickback conversations, all right? Let's put this segment as the kickback conversation. All right. What would make you think China is actually a threat when they bought land over here by all the military bases? I'm inclined to believe, just me, that we're being played. America's up for sale. Solid fire sale. All right. So again, pulling up some information. I'm on Brave. Say what you want. All right, got a little picture here. All right, let's move that on over. All right, so this was written May 30th, 2024. New map breaks down Chinese ownership of farmland by state. All right, I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger. Click, click. We're gonna make that. Don't move that. What we're doing. There we go. All right. Does this look like they have a problem with each other? Understand that maybe they have like Mississippi and Alabama mixed up, but that's Alabama with 88. Now, Kay Ivey had recently passed some legislation like 2 years ago, recently 2 years ago, that no foreign nationals or no foreign interests could buy land in the state of Alabama. Do I believe that to be true? Yes and no, because I know better. I think to some extent they don't, because that's why they're wanting to put Space Force in Alabama, in Huntsville to be exact. Why not Colorado? Because they own something like 4,000 acres, something stupid like that. So this is a picture from Derek Maltz. Mexican cartels are dropping off millions of cash from scales of poisonous drugs and the Chinese criminals, and the cash is being used in many cases to buy the real estate. Do you believe it? You have no choice because it's true. Do I think that we've been sold? Yes. It's America. Everything's for sale. Even you. So why wouldn't they sell pieces of our land that we don't clearly own? We don't clearly own it, but hey, they're damn sure selling it. So here's my question, right? The tariffs in place, right? Upwards to like 100 and something percent on both sides right now. So we're in a trade war, and the idea of tariffs is basically to strengthen the local economy, all right, and force international people to come over and want to do business inside of America. Kind of the same thing that China was doing with their empire when they built it. They had everyone move their businesses over there, cheap labor, cheap distribution, get it out. All right, mass consumption. They're pumping out numbers, pumping out numbers, pumping out numbers. Right. So now there's tariffs on everybody. So what happens is that to maintain that value, because you got to understand, our consuming is feeding China. So if we don't buy Chinese product, Chinese economy go down. Does that make sense? Chinese go down. Okay. If we buy local, the idea is America go up. All right. Now, here's where I think the hidden play is possibly at. And maybe I don't know enough about economics. Maybe I am not a financial guy. I'm clearly not an expert. I read a lot. I digest information. I understand. Okay. What I'm saying is is that if it's supposed to help us buy from small business or American businesses, do you not remember that most of our small businesses can't afford to buy shelves and can't afford the same logistics that the American corporations can afford? So when we're saying buy American, remember we're buying from the same corporations that we quote unquote think are killing us via plastics, aerosols, heavy metals, chemicals, stuff like that. There's two sides to this. You guys can't ride the fence. Well, no one's perfect. I'm smoking a cigarette right now. I clearly know cigarettes are not the safest thing in the world. Last time I heard they stopped nanotechnology. That's a joke. That's a joke. Don't get fucking weird. What I'm saying is if the tariffs are supposed to help America, but all the Americans know are the corporations and not the small businesses, are we really backing America? Or are we backing American corporations again? All right, let's put our thinking caps on. Put it over. Put your thinking cap on. Now, let's think about this. If the tariffs are supposed to make us buy American, and we know that most of the American products are all controlled by like 4 or 5 companies, which thus are controlled by 3 companies, are we really helping Americans or are we helping American corporations? Sure, I look like I might be knowing what I'm talking about right now, but what I'm trying to ask a really serious question, because if you think about it, there's no way that what we're buying is from small businesses that the terrorists are trying to direct us to buy for or consume from. They want us to consume American corporations. That's not the same as American small business. Now, excuse me, there are small businesses that are in place, but that's not enough. That trickle down effect is not real. It's not working. It hasn't been working in some time. So what I'm saying tonight, while we're hanging out, loose conversation, no segments, no nothing. What we're saying is the trade war really a trade war? I don't think China wants to do the trade, go tit for tat with America because their growth is based on us. I don't see America really going to war with China physically more than I see us going to war with Iran physically. Why do you say that, Marcus? Because China is invested in us. Our debt, our land, our infrastructure, our businesses, our food. China owns Tyson Chicken. I don't see them profiting from killing everyone in the world just yet. Now, it is part of the plan. What I'm saying is if they were going to do it, this would be the wrong time to do it. America is still in a place that it's healthy. People are still eating off of us with based on the tariffs. The EU has been raping us for some time on tariffs, guys. You guys got to look into this. Look, matching tariffs or equal tariffs, right? So me and you are separate countries. America, I'm pushing my stuff through you, but you want your people to buy Britain, right? So you put tariffs on America and you make people buy their local stuff, and the American stuff is like the top shelf stuff. Anything American, like Jim Beam whiskey, would be considered like expensive in the UK because there's a tariff on it, right? But over here, it would be something else, like something from UK or England, because they don't produce shit anyway, for real. But they consume, the Western world consumes more than they produce, and that's kind of the problem. What I'm saying is this: if tariffs are here to make America better, it's only going to happen via the small businesses. But people don't do small businesses, so a lot of this is going to go through corporations. I just don't see China wanting to go to conflict with America. You guys know China hasn't really been in a conflict in some time, like kinetic on the ground. Is that saying that they can't win a war? No, I'm saying this would be a really bad time to want to figure out if you could do it. Americans are very aware that there's a chance that they could be invaded. Americans know this. This isn't unheard of. This isn't anything new. But Americans understand that they're in a very indifferent place with the world. The world has already pretty much bent its knee to whatever it is controlling. America's the only country that has the same amount of guns it does people. And unfortunately, that's a defense mechanism for us. It keeps our government off of us. It's the only reason why they haven't done what they wanted to do yet or what they're gonna do. The only thing stopping them from us is us. That's why they divide us and make us fight each other while they steal the money and hide in the background. They be like, "Hey, he did it. Got you, bitch," and they bring all the money in, and we're sitting here like, "Hey, that white man is stealing from me," and they're like, "Hey, that black man is stealing from me," and we're just sitting here, both middle class, working poor, poverty stricken Americans, thinking that we're the problem. It's not us that's the problem. It's them. It's them. Sure, everybody has their plights within their communities, okay? But I always want to make this very clear when I say this. A lot of our problems wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them either. You have to make people not like each other. Sure, in the history of humans, racism is about as common as it is slavery. Everyone has already had this conversation. Slavery has happened throughout the world. That's where the Slavics come from, right? Slaves. That's the derivative of Slavic, Slovenia, right? Slav, slavery, or slave. It's where the name comes from. So slavery isn't new. Classism isn't new. Racism isn't new. The world does not like each other. It's always been that way. It's not new. It's not. Should it end? Yeah, it should have ended by now with all the technological advances and what we know about the human history, or what we think we know about it. But for some reason, we seem to not be able to get past that. But you know what they can get past? Spending money on wars, tariff wars, restrictions, policies, legislation that doesn't help us, dropping information that no one cares about. It ain't been one person since Epstein got whistleblown and put out in the open. Ain't nobody went to prison. Clinton's still out here touring, talking to people. Obama is still out here talking. Listen, y'all ain't getting that list. You were never gonna get that list. I hope that they do 10 days of disclosure, because that's the best idea that they've had so far. Because I swear to you, they're lying. They're not gonna do any of that shit that they're talking about. It sounds good, but I assure you, Agenda 21, Agenda 25, or Project 25, and Agenda 2030 are all the same fucking agenda. Excuse me, they're the same exact agenda, people. The quicker you figure that out, the quicker you'll understand why the quantum financial system is going to be a slave system, in my honest opinion. It's coming regardless if you want it or not. And for people who say cash is king, you're propping up nothing again. Crypto ain't backed by shit. The dollar ain't backed by shit. You got two debt systems in play right now, and you got people arguing over the simplest things right now. Two debt systems in play. And this debt system that we're in right now, they're going to get rid of it. It's old and it's done. It's time to move on. Whether you want to call it the brick system, or you want to call it the quantum financial system, the great awakening, whatever you system you think that this is that's coming to save you, it is not coming to save you. As I take a sip of my drink, mm, raspberry vodka, Arizona iced tea, America. Oh man, guys, you guys got to understand something, man. As much as you want, and I get it. People believe in the MAGA train. People believe in QAnon. I think that's still a psyop. I've said it numerous times. I think that they released real information and to suck people in. I think that they're tag tracking and IDing everyone right now, including myself. And I think that they're all waiting to make this move. It's gonna look like Red Dawn, Leave the World Behind, a little bit of Civil War in there, a little bit of Total Recall, pinch of Hunger Games, splash of The Purge. It's gonna look like all the predictive programming that we've been given. Because the whole point of that is to make us less, shaky to it. Like we may not actually jump as stupid or get crazy with them if we know what's coming. Hold on, text me. Sorry, I'm trying to get some food. What I'm saying is in the event that this shit hit the fan scenario happens, if it does happen, I'm thinking that they're just trying to scare us and we make it happen. But if worst case scenario is like them pushing a button and nuking everything, then shit, there's really nothing we can do about it. Or if they're gonna hit the button and do an EMP, there's nothing we can do about it. We're just gonna have to roll with the punches and keep going. I swear to you, there's not much we can do about anything other than to let it happen. Because right now, everyone's fighting over race or gender or like who's right or who's wrong, who's left and who's right. So at this point, it's gonna happen if it is. And if it does happen, we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get there. It's unfortunate, but we're gonna have to cross it because we're already in the end game, right? This is why like Marvel and Disney and the whole Avengers thing, end game. We're at the final end game. Best way to put it. 2030 right around the corner, guys. The agendas, listen, if you don't know about the agendas, 2030, Agenda 2030 and 2021 and Project 25 are all the same thing. It's just another way of controlling the masses through mass manipulation and separate protocols or psyops just ran for those reasons. I know that sounds stupid, but whatever. Say what you want. So all right, let me explain something. Agenda 21 comes out in a couple ways. It comes out for the UN, it comes out for Wikipedia, it comes out for conspiracies. It is one economic goal to have globalization around the world. That's it. It's nothing incredibly special, right? It's just one of those situations that people believe that there are either sustainable goals to keep humans going or to enslave the world. If you heard of Albert Pike and you heard of Klaus Schwab and you heard of like the stories of like the Nazis and Hitler and the One World Order and the New World Order, Order out of chaos, you would understand that there's been some conversation for like the last 100 years in America that there are secret societies controlling America. They have infiltrated all our political movements. They've infiltrated our governments, our schools, our medical research, scientific research, media, entertainment. The symbolism that you see everywhere, that's that stuff. That's them. Okay. To some extent, Globalization is coming whether we want it or not. They've already started the process. It's nothing new. Apparently, they've been trying this for so long that they keep fucking up and starting over. In my readings, they've said that World War II was supposed to eventually escalate into World War III. Now it's supposed to be Vietnam, but it didn't escalate that far. Stopped before it got far, and they went the slow route. Quiet, silent wars, information, drugs. All right, the destabilization of all communities, black, white, brown, Asian. It don't matter. If you live in poverty, your community has been destabilized. If you everyone has the ability to work themselves out of poverty, but some of this stuff is made for you to fail. The system is not working for us, but it is perfectly working for them. And that's because they understand certain things like tax law and media and understanding how to use their influence to push agendas. We common people do not do that kind of shit. We're just working hard people trying to, raise families and live like the shit. Live a solid, righteous life. Fuck, I don't know. I'm not Christian. I'm not Catholic, not Islam. I'm not any of that. People say they want to live a good life. It's hard to do that in a satanic world. All right. A lot of conversations about what realm we live in, the seven layers of hell or the seven layers of heaven and the firmament and all that shit. So much. What I'm saying is this: if we don't band together now, there's no way that we come out of this in a good way. Nowhere in history have humans not fought for the human existence in general. If you go through history, there's evil and then there's the resistance to evil. All right. I won't say there's good. There's good people, but humans as a whole have fucking sucked over the last 2,000 years. Just call a spade a spade. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's just humans have made critical errors in life. Power and absolute power corrupts. Humans are going to enslave each other based on that construct of power and strength and conquering shit, right? We are the most advanced species allegedly on this planet, if you believe that. And the best thing that we can do is change each other's gender. So, with that said, humans suck as a whole when they're not thinking clearly. And right now, history rhymes and repeats. And Trump is looking real Kennedy like right now. And everyone's loving it. He's gonna splinter the CIA. Cash Patel is coming in. Pitbull, Hard Nose, FBI, right? Gabby Tulser, Gnome, Rubio. Everyone's coming in to come do something and do their job. But I swear to you, there is a strange foreign hand guiding all of them, and it's clearly coming from the Middle East, and it's clearly not Islam. We've all heard the conversations. There's an evil group of Jewish people running the world. Do I believe it? What I have understood is this: if you want to know who's in control, you want to know who's in power, find out who you can talk about. And apparently, I can say all the disparaging shit that I want about black people. No one's gonna bat an eye. If I say horrible shit about my people, no one's gonna care. And that's absolutely insane. If I say horrible shit about white people gonna get mad. But controversy sells, no one's gonna say anything. I say something about the Asians, people get real sensitive. But controversy sells, no one's gonna say something. If I say something about Islam, no one's gonna say something. Controversy sells. If I say something about Jewish people, anti-Semitism. If I say something about the The gay community and something I may not agree with, homophobia. Uncomfortable truth? Yeah. If you don't believe it, go say something right now. Go to work, say something very anti-Semitic, or just state your opinion about Jewish people and see if they don't fire your ass. I could race bait all day. No one's gonna say anything. Yeah, they're gonna get mad, but controversy sells. No such thing as bad press when you do stuff like that. It's proven. You got the Jason Whitlocks, the DL Hewleys on both sides. You got all kinds of people who say stuff for the left and the right. They don't get canceled. They don't get put away. They still rake in their $1 million checks. But you know what you can't say? Can't say anything about the LGBTQ community. You can't say anything about Jewish people. Am I trying to say something? No, I'm just pointing out the obvious truths. Thought this was a kickback. I thought we could sit here and talk and be very candid tonight and have a conversation. Like, listen, guys. The Daily Rabbit Hole has grown, right? I've been doing this for almost 2 years. Next week will be 2 years. April 19th, 2025, the Daily Rabbit Hole will be 2 years old. Two. All right. For the last 2 years, I've been on the internet. I've been here the whole time streaming, doing shows, having a great grand time with y'all, and I'm still getting flagged for everything in between. Some of the stuff that I talk about, I see other people talk about, and they never get flagged. I see their views. So maybe it's just me, and maybe I'm saying it wrong. But what I'm saying is this: the daily rabbit hole has grown. People have grown with the brand. No matter what people think about me as a person, really doesn't matter because none of you really know me as a person. You're only able to see through this little camera that I allow you to see me through. What I'm saying is that I'm a very thinking man. I'm still a person who thinks. And I understand that there are powers to be and things going on. I have to take my own advice. So if I don't trust any institution and I have to be observant of everything going on, then it's really likely to call a spade with certain situations. This does not mean that I identify with everything that comes out. I really don't identify with a lot of shit. I identify with the fact that I am a man of color, I am a father, and I am a husband. And I like talking shit and I like doing conspiracies. But that does not define me, and I do not align myself with everything that comes out. But what I do understand that there is an insane amount of data in history slightly proving what I'm saying. That if you want to know who's in power, then mention their name and find out if you can't say anything about them. Now, think about it. If I can say I can say what I want about the CIA. I can go pull up redacted documents, make all the conspiracy claims that I want, misinformation, and still go make a profit off of that because no such thing as bad press. I could get on here and start cooning my ass off if I wanted to and started doing the most ignorant shit possible and being a Sambo out here shucking and jiving and just destroying my own group of people because that's what gets clicks. I don't do that. Excuse me. I could also sit here and be like the leftists and be like, white people are to blame for everything. They're not, but I don't do that. My point is that when you guys watch me, understand that like I am actually a normal person. I am not sitting here shilling the fucking shit out of you for views. I am not gonna sit here and scare you. I'm not gonna sensationalize this shit. I'm just gonna say the uncomfortable things out loud and let you decide. We report, you decide. All right? I'm gonna put the information out. I'm gonna say stuff just to make you think about it. You can go look it up. I've sat here numerous nights looking up information till 12:30 at night with y'all hanging out. But honestly, a lot of y'all don't take the information well, and I see that in all the comments and other pages that be playing with y'all. This is good. Tea. The tea. Remember they used to say, Oh, you out here sipping tea. Yeah, I am. You want to know what the tea is? The government's fucking you, and they don't really care, and they know they don't care. They just have to keep the illusion going because it's all fabricated. It is not what you think it is. And when you hear this via Spotify, Facebook, when I chop it up, however I decide to do this, the message is going to remain the same. I'm not sensationalizing this shit. I'm not. I wish I could get interviews and maybe I got to grow my brand a little bit better, but I'm just telling you the truth. I honestly don't think they're working in our favor. I personally think most of the shit that we're watching are psyops. I think a lot of times they jump on tragedies and use them for their own personal gain, like what's happened in Texas. Because to be honest, people die every day. I don't see y'all getting y'all panties in the wall for every single person that dies every day. Where's the same outrage for people still in bondage and slavery right now, no matter the color? Where's that same outrage for human trafficking? If y'all put the same energy into being mad at human trafficking that you put into racism, I swear to God, we could fix it. If you put the same energy that you put in to fucking genderism and feminism and DEI, if you put that same energy into holding these people accountable, I swear to God, it'd be so much better. But it's like for some reason, y'all want the entertainment sensationalized slop. Like y'all want the shit that make you click. You want the shit that jerks your emotions and then you can't even think logically. Like you out here screaming at people in comments, calling people all kinds of racial fucking slurs and shit. Like why? Because you're on an internet platform and they can't see you? That's even worse. Say the shit out loud. People get mad at the KKK. I don't get mad at them no more. They show you that they're a piece of shit. Stay away from them. They tell you they're racist. Okay, stay away from them. Nothing has made them stop. They're still here. Does that make it right? Absolutely the fuck not. It does not make it right. What I'm saying is that there is so much going on in the world every day. It's weird that you guys pick the most news rot shit to be upset about. And it's not until they tell you what to be upset about. That shit blows my mind. Like that's what I be trying to figure out sometimes is like, do y'all really be upset or is it because someone told you to be upset? That's my issue. Because I swear to you, police brutality has been here for a while. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't plan on going nowhere no time soon. You know why? Because crime and police brutality go together. The prison system and police brutality go together. You're not gonna get rid of that shit and have balance. It won't work that way because the system needs each other. If there was no crime, people would have no jobs. What jobs would they have right now? Right? Think about that. Crime is a $1 billion industry. Crime is a $1 billion industry. If you got rid of crime, you're gonna kill a lot of households. The system is working as designed. It's us that needs to stop perpetrating it. If we stop perpetrating it, it does not work. But again, if you would put the same energy into being angry at what's going on in America for real, without saying red or blue, MAGA, liberal, any racial slur, classism, or bigotry, I swear, you make it so hard. I see people every day in my city, and a lot of people are leaving the Democratic Party. Why would they leave the Democratic Party? Because the Democratic Party fucking sucks. It's not good. It hasn't been good in a while. Excuse me, y'all just didn't realize that Obama was marketing, Clinton was marketing. Anything blue, that's marketing. They got public relations helping them dumb themselves down and look normal so they don't look like rich assholes. In the event that you get some good people in there, they get pushed to the back. You might got some good representatives in the House, and I'm sure there's some in the Senate too. But there are more rhinos, more neos, more neoliberals or neocons than anything. And these people are all being greased by the same group of people because everyone is getting some type of handler as a politician. And I didn't think it was exactly true. I didn't think it was true until, I'm not going to say the gentleman's name. I don't like pointing out, new political people. I like to give them an opportunity to prove themselves. But there are people already in the state of Alabama aligned with APAC. Young politicians already lined up with APAC. And I assure you, they're gonna pass those treaties and those policies to get that money. They're all propping up the MIC. They're all propping up the propaganda in the media. Listen, tonight is a kickback. It is not about really sitting here telling you what's going on in the media. Let's get past the media right now. Let's not even look at me as media. I'm not media. I'm just a young person. Not young. I'm young, 39. I like to say I'm young. I am a 39-year-old man sitting here trying to explain to y'all that this shit is not what you think it is. And there's no way you could believe that it's operating as the Constitution sees fit. The Constitution is outdated. The only reason they haven't enslaved us is because the Second Amendment was built into the Constitution. They've already violated the Fourth Amendment, the the Fifth. You're supposed to plead the Fifth. They're violating the shit out of that one. The 13th Amendment was used for slavery in the prison industrial system. Fucking the 14th Amendment should have been used way back when, but because they didn't use it, which because it was a PSYOP January 6th and they couldn't use it, even though they were going to try it, it didn't work. I assure you, these people are not going by the Constitution. I assure you that they believe that they have the up on us. They also assume that as long as we're fighting each other, we're not going to look at them and be like, hey, with your hand in my pocket. And we haven't, because right now we're still arguing over Carmelo Anthony and on Austin Metcalf. We still got our radio personalities up here, left side leaning, right side leaning, pushing narratives. You still got people in your communities propping up the system. And to some extent, we're all propping up the system, guys. Even me, we're all propping it up to some extent. Because it's not like I can go buy all this stuff from some black owned business. I mean, certain software I'm not going to get through them. Certain pieces of equipment I'm not going to get through them. I just want to support people doing their right thing. No matter black, blue, white, brown, or gray, I'll support you as long as you got good customer service and good product. As long as you're not a piece of shit and a fucking weirdo. Like, I don't mind supporting every race because I understand something. All my skin folk ain't my kinfolk. All white people ain't out here to hurt me. All Asians ain't bad. All Mexicans aren't horrible people. There are horrible people within every group, sure. But for some reason, we all keep focusing on those horrible people when we can really honestly push them out the way also. Everybody can't make it to the future. Some people can't go. I'm going to be honest. This is a kickback. I might start doing this on Fridays, like Friday night kickback, daily rabbit hole, the rabbit hole report. Come on in. We have regular conversation that you would have at your homie house smoking a joint or having a whiskey. We're having this conversation tonight. Should be a good time. I'm having a good time. All right? Show break. Feel free to go to thedailyrabbithole.org. You see it on my ticker. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, TikTok. I'm all over the place. I'm on Spotify now. Please follow me on Spotify. Help the podcast get its views and its followers up. All right. I'm a work in progress. I'm learning to write. I'm doing different things. The Daily Rabbit Hole has been around for 2 years, so we're gonna make something happen with the Daily Rabbit Hole. And if you know anything about me, you know, hey, the Daily Rabbit Hole is full time, just due to some health conditions and changing life plan. You got to roll with the punches, right? So this is what happened, and I'm with the Daily Rabbit Hole full time. That's why we have a website now. We're getting past the censorship. We got our own platform. I can put my stuff on there. Guess what? If YouTube kicked me off, then guess what? I still got Rumble. Worst case scenario, I'll be streaming from my own website if Rumble says no more. So it is what it is. But I'm independent and I got my own platform. So guess what? I'm going to get way more comfortable as each show goes on with saying really uncomfortable things that are extremely true. All right? It's not for race baiting. It's not because I've sold out and you guys are all looking like for some type of symbolism. There's no need to do all that. Nope. Because when I first started, we were having these hard conversations, and that's when it was still fun to me. A lot of times I get caught up looking at other shows and podcasts and trying to figure out, damn, what they do. Like, damn, I'm in a crowded market of alternative media. How am I going to get myself involved in this? I've been involved for 2 years. I built a solid following, on Facebook. All right. I'm looking to build another following on Instagram and Rumble. Looking to do YouTube. All right. But mainly the dailyrabbithole.org. That's the website. I want you guys to represent that. Excuse me. Got a lot of gas. It's the drinking. And I'm hungry as fuck. So the Daily Rabbit Hole is here to stay. The Daily Rabbit Hole is now considered independent media. So I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Hold on. Talking to my wife, trying to get some food. Hold on. So Daily Rabbit Hole's here. New look, new feel. Trying to get back to being active with streaming. I did a pre-recorded show last time and it turned out really well. I feel like people don't realize it's pre-recorded, and that's weird because if you look at everyone's show, that's not live. The editing and transitions let you know it's pre-recorded, and I'm sure no one cares. But the thing with me was is that I had always been doing my shows live, and I'm more in a space now that I'm like 60, 70 shows in, that I'm more comfortable doing pre-record because I got to knock out so many shows a day. All right. Definitely want to take this more serious. I want to push my platform out a little bit more. I have my own platform now, so why not? That's just me. Now, end of the promo seg. Let's talk about something. It's 2025. President Trump is the president. Do y'all think that this is the last president? Do you think this is the last pope? Do you think that we've crossed lines somewhere? Do you think we're going to some like authoritarian government? Like, do you think we're not already in the New World Order? What if we're already in it and the whole jig is that they want us to think we're not in it? And every now and then we get a peek behind the scenes and we're like, oh shit, what was that? And they're like, nothing. No, he's white. Get mad. And they're like, oh, yeah. And they get mad. Because it's always perfectly placed timing with events. Every time Americans get real close to asking some type of effective questions or effective push, it's like, hey, look that way. And people are like, huh? And they're like, and someone over there doing some stupid shit. And they're like, yeah. I feel like we're being played a lot, and that's just me. Does it make it true? Not really. Am I right? Probably not. I could be wrong. If you look at history, history says I might be onto something. And all the whistleblowers that's been shot in the last 50 years would probably agree. What I'm saying is you've seen the Matrix, we've seen all the predictive programming. We know that this is a stage. We know that it's an illusion. We know that they can do things that we didn't even know were possible, like dues, control the weather, HARP, DARPA. You know what I'm saying? Microchips, putting microchips in brains, scanning your hand for food. We've all heard these theories, and now these theories are come to fruition. I think I said that right. And we're kind of just going along with it. And now I'm like, okay, at what point do we stop and just take a step back and be like, you motherfuckers are getting weird again? I'm not saying that that means you guys need to get out there and run amok and burn the neighborhood down. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if class consciousness is real, we should all be vibing right now and being like, hey, brother, my white brother, my Mexican brother, my Asian brother, my Kathmandu brother, UK brother. We all have a problem. We have a mutual problem right now. What do you mean we have a mutual problem? Do you seem to not be able to pay for groceries no matter how much money you bring home? And sure, people be like, I penny pinch and we don't have any problems. How about this? How about you don't have to penny pinch? Why are we being raped for food? Sure, we could go hunt our own food, but there's regulations on that. If 360 million people decided to go hunting, there would be no more food. So there has to be a balance of the hunters and the distribution and the hub to buy food and all that. But what I'm saying is this. You don't find it a little bit strange that we're our money isn't going as far, but their money is going so far that they're taking fake money and buying real assets. And not like the assets that we think like a house and land, like corporations, countries, land. When I say land, countries, districts, sections, like no matter what they invest in, they not losing. Cause it seems like when you get to that level, you can invest in anything. That's what the Octagon Group is. That's what like your hedge funds are. Like they have these holding companies or these financial institutions that can pretty much back you into any investment without taking a loss, which means that money has no morals. Money does not have morals. It tells you that it's the root of all evil. I don't think it's the root of all evil. I just think humans suck. And absolute power corrupts. Because once you have so much money, so much power, so much whatever, you then find yourself controlling things because you want things to go your way just like that. You want things to happen the way you want to because they put the dip in your pockets. But these same people that like I'm talking about now are running your country. They're running the country. You got psychopaths, narcissists, murderers, kidnappers, weirdos, pedos running the country right now in various forms. And they are teachers. When I say running the country, I mean cops. I mean people in local life. You have these kind of people who have taken oaths, secret societies, fraternities, sororities, all working on the same cause. Whether they know it or not, whether they believe it or not, does not matter. The system is working as it's designed. It is not supposed to work in the favor of the poor people. But the Constitution is keeping us alive. As much as I don't think the Constitution is really up to date on anything, that damn Second Amendment is helping our ass like no other. You don't believe me? Look around. You feel free, don't you? Right. You're not. You know why? Because they had to do it other ways. Instead of a head up confrontation with us, they would rather subvert us. Kennedy said it. Let me pull the video up. Let me find it. I'm gonna find it. We're gonna have this conversation tonight. Kennedy told you what they were doing when he talked about secret societies. I'm gonna pull it up. Why? Because it's a kickback. And when you at the kickback, you be like, hold up, let me pull it up. Someone goes to their YouTube because they like every conspiracy theorist, they think YouTube is a reference. It is a reference tool. It's a fucking video archive of everything that I need to find or I want to find, no matter how suppressed it is. If I type in the right characters correctly, I can find whatever the hell I want to. But act like you know something, man. The internet was one of the best things that came out. They just use it to enslave us. I want y'all to hear this speech. This is the 3-minute one. This is the 19-minute one. We're going to do the 3-minute one because I'm not going to sit here for fucking 19 minutes. I could. I'm not doing anything. Hold on. April 27th, 1961. President Press given before the New American Newspaper Publishers Association. Fuck it. Let's go with the 19-minute one, right? Let's do it.
Mr. Chairman.
No, I'm not. 3 minutes. Sorry. Scatterbrain moment.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections,
Absolutely
on
not.
intimidation instead of free choice,
Not true.
on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day.
What?
It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine
Fake news.
that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations.
Fake news.
Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence in the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. I not only could not stifle controversy among your readers, I welcome it. This administration intends to be candid about its errors For as a wise man once said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it.
The report is that the president is dead. The word we have is that he is dead, that he was shot by an assassin.
Listen. He told us in so many words that this was a problem. Without saying who it is, he made it very clear that there is a problem. Subversion by night. Excuse me, subversion instead of invasion. All right, guerrillas by night. They have mass resource, military, intelligence. They are everywhere. They are everything and they're nothing at all. I've talked about the fourth PSYOP group where they tell you they are everything and nothing at all. They are the ghost in the machine. They are the soul that keeps the machine going. He's legacy. He is a spoiled legacy brat member. I hate to do him like that, but he wasn't supposed to be the president. It was supposed to be his older brother, but his brother died, so it left him. Do you think his older brother would have said the same thing like John and Robert? I don't think so. I don't think his older brother was going to do the same thing that those two did. I don't know. I could be wrong. On another parallel dimension, Kennedy survives. If you believe in parallel dimensions. Whatever. What I'm saying is this. If he could see it and he was telling you that it's all bullshit and it's fake and it's not what you think it is, none of it is what you think it is. There are people controlling the government. Even this man who he thought he had real power had none. And when he didn't play the game, they shot him. Now, speed along to April 20th, 2025. You see what I did there? Yeah, I don't have a segment, but wall break into a wall break to another wall break. That brings us back to the original wall. Okay? So, now, the conversation that I said earlier was, do you think Trump is going to be the last president? April 20, 2025, The Simpsons, if it's true, could be propaganda, Trump dies. He's also considered the last president. People are also saying that he was president during Biden's term because they stole it, and people are also stating that he is going to be the last president. In songs, people have said it. There's the predictive programming out that people have pretty much stated that he's going to be the last president. Okay? Now, when people say the last president, this is what they mean. The last president meaning is that he's the last one before the new system. This could be the beast system that we're in, and we're getting out of the beast system into maybe a weight class consciousness and mass awakening. Sounds like a Disney story, but you know what? It could be way more darker. It is probably going to get way more darker because of the people that we're dealing with. Now, you guys got to understand from standing from the outside looking in, because I'm on the outside with you, but when you listen to me, whenever you listen to this, you're going to realize like, hey, maybe he has a point. Maybe there is somebody behind the scenes like the Wizard of Oz. Pull back the curtain and some old, decrepit, wrinkly old man holding on to the little ounce of power that he has left. Or maybe it's a group of families who figured that they could get further by enslaving us and not fighting each other and destroying each other's legacies. Instead, they banded together to enslave us on an elitism idea of like, hey, we may not like each other, but we definitely don't like these motherfuckers at the bottom. I would rather deal with us than them. Maybe there's just a bunch of families who came here between the 1600s and the 1900s, and they fortified themselves into all of the American institutions and all of that, and just, you know, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Orsinis, the DuPonts, the Kennedys, the Trumps, the, if you want to put Obama in there, Obama's one of them, but his name is different. Like the Bushes, they're all part of the same secret societies and families, but they come from different parts of the diagram. You know, like the Venn diagram. You know, you got the right at the top, the left at the top, and then you got the right and left at the bottom. But then in the middle, you got the centrist, but everyone leans a different way on the map or the chart. We've pulled out charts, Deep State Mapping Project, even those lean left to right. They're still Venn diagrams. So let's think that maybe, just maybe, that there are a group of people controlling everything about our existence and we don't know it, because in their minds, they believe that for us to be happy, we need someone to tell us what to do. That's not the case with me. I would like to be left the fuck alone. That's just me. Some people need the order. It's just like the military. Some people don't need micromanagement, and some people need micromanagement. We all seen that person that needs micromanagement. You might call them an NPC. I just say that they need micromanaging. Okay? If you really think about it, it does make more sense that there would be more like-minded interests at a higher level than it would be at the bottom. Because power respects power, but power does not respect poverty. That's classism. Power is power because it rose to that. It came from either nothing and rose to it, or it was handed the keys and it went further. Most of the people that we're talking about were old Irish migrants, Catholic migrants, or Scottish migrants, excuse me, French, Spanish, uh, Moroccan, German, whatever. They all came over here. These families made their way to power and never gave it back. We think they gave it back, but they've been around so long that they were around when the Constitution actually fucking mattered. Think about that. Most of these families have been around in America so long that they predate the Constitution to some extent. The Rockefellers predate the Constitution. You guys understand that, right? The Rockefellers predate the Constitution. That should tell you a lot. Think about it. The Rockefellers got here in the 1700s, late 1700s. They predated. When Philadelphia was the capital of America in the 13 colonies, before it went to DC in the 1800s, it was Philadelphia. That's why Philadelphia has such heavy symbolism. The city of brotherly love, Freemasons, or whatever secret society that you want to put in place right there. What I'm saying is this in our kickback tonight of just candid conversation and understanding that a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with right now has been in play for some time. And even if I leave the metaphysical and the mysticism and all that stuff out, I leave all the stuff out that makes people turn off their ears. There is one conclusive truth, that there are a group of people who have like-minded ideas and thoughts and opinions, and they're all operating on the same frequency, but we are the only ones at the bottom thinking that they are operating by that at the top. That is not how that works. That's not how power works. Do what I say, not as I do. Excuse me. Do as I say, not as I do. As your parents used to tell you, well, you can do it, why I can't do it? Because I'm grown. because you can't do it. Right? Well, it's the same thing. We can't do what they do. We have to do as they say. The problem is now is that we don't want to do as they say because as they say is sick. That's why people have mental health issues. I assure you, if you lived in the woods and didn't know any of this shit existed, would you have mental health issues? If you don't think that's a real question, go to the jungles and go find a tribe that has not been contacted and had to deal with what we had to deal with. They don't have mental health issues. Their shaman or high priest or priestess or wizard, whatever the fuck they call them, has an understanding of how to fix it. Here, we think taking medicine is supposed to fix everything. Sometimes you need to fix the environment, and sometimes if the environment is bad, it's based off the leadership. And I say that I've been a head coach. Wall break. Let's have a candid moment for a second. So before the Daily Rabbit Hole, I was a football coach and a teacher's aide. I was working on becoming a full-fledged teacher, right? My class or my team is a product of my leadership, a product of my morals, a product of my beliefs and understandings of the way of the world and how I interact with them. If I am toxic as a person that you all like to say each other are toxic and whatnot, then anything that I touch would be toxic. I couldn't hold that mask for so long. That's why certain football coaches fucking suck. That's why certain leaders seem to not be able to lead. Certain people can't lead because they're toxic. Because everything that they lead, they infect. All right. Now that you understand what I'm saying, look at our leadership. If our leadership was so grand and so great, why is the population sick as shit? Think about it. If anyone who's been in a leadership role, you know everything below, all your subordinates below you will be based off your leadership and your traits and your personality and what you bring to the table. Well, if America is reluctantly sick all the damn time with mental health, with PTSD, with issues of whatever we have going on, to some extent that mirrors our leadership. Our leadership is also sick because our leadership has no morals, no ethics. And y'all sit here and y'all say tit for tat, which one's better than the other, but they're all sick. Nothing is getting fixed. No one is being relieved of their sickness. Dave Chappelle said it. Why is that everyone is crazy? Or maybe his environment is so sick that is his natural response. Look at our responses in America. We have gun violence, mass shootings every day, whether they're perpetrated by shadowy groups or someone just had a really bad day. We have stabbings. We have rapes. We have SA. We have gangs. We have all of this stuff that was created by some event in America. Besides the grapes, humans are just deplorable people sometimes with no morals and no values. It's an unfortunate truth. Humans suck. There's some hope for us, but humans kind of suck. It is what it is. They've tried to tell you in so many ways over so many generations that the story you're being told is not exactly what you think it is, and that these people are not the leaders or the brilliant minds that you think that they are. They're not. A lot of these guys are put in place. I've always said when you're watching the presidential debates, they are interviewing to the elites down through us. If they can make it look so believable to us, then they can get the job. It's a popularity contest. That's why they have the popular vote. When they put on those suits and they go do those press photo ops and go down there and talk to people in donut shops and car lots and schools. That is to make themselves look less than, not good. It looks good to us because they came down off their high horse to talk to us. That's how we're supposed to take that. That they came all the way down off their high horse to make us feel better about ourselves. You people are the reason why they are propped up right now. We are all the reason they are propped up. I don't believe in this system anymore. This system is not working. It is not plausible. It is a flaming cart of shit. You just hope you don't get it in your face and in your mouth. You don't believe me? That's fine. Your helicopter crashings, your airport crashings are the same thing as your train derailments. You don't believe me? We have set a record in America for plane crashes and helicopter crashes. We're setting records. Whether you believe it's frequency manipulation, drones, psyops, or they're just random events, I assure you there's something wrong. As humans, we should be going forward. We're going backwards. Something's wrong. Progress is if you do just a little, you still have progress. For us to have so much technology, so many means to contribute to the earth and contribute to the human race, we have taken more steps backwards than we have forward. And in the last 5 fucking years, since 2020, we have taken way more steps back than we have forward. That's by design. That's not an accident. It's not. It's not possible. It's not impossible to be an accident. Nope. It's not possible. It is a perfectly crafted plan. We can name all the projects and operations we want. We know that they have mind control down. We know that they understand witchcraft and mysticism. We understand that they are surveilling everything via the Patriot Act starting in 2001. And to be honest, they were surveilling people back then also in the 70s and the 60s and the 50s. Surveillance goes back a long way. What I'm trying to get you guys to understand is this. At some point, you're either going to accept this information or be fortunate enough to watch it manifest in front of you. Because that's how class consciousness works. It's not that it's so much information spreading, it's that the information spreads and it turns out to be true, which fucks with people's heads. No one really actually trusts the Democratic Party. No one actually trusts the Conservative Party, the Republicans. What you guys are seeing are perfectly crafted narratives on mainstream media telling you Americans believe this shit. But truth of the matter is, if you live in these areas, you can tell they're starting to lose focus or lose sight of what that shit is or what they thought it was. Because it's not working. Like, look, you guys see me, right? I'm a person of color. Let's just get this out in the open. When this plays on Spotify, they're going to be like, he did say he is black. I am. You can look at the graphics. Listen, black people voting for liberals has to be the most detrimental shit that I've ever seen in my life. I can't tell you right now where we've actually prospered from the left party. The left party seems to come in office based on pandering and saying that they're going to help the black plight. But all it ends up turning out to be are protests, shitty promises, and in the end, after 8 years of presidency, we're in a far worse situation than we were before they got in office. But somehow, for some reason, certain black people keep voting for the liberal party. I'm not white, so I can't really tell you why the white people are voting for the liberal party, which, if I had to assume it, just feel like you could be possibly a closet racist. Because the Liberal Party is good for pandering. Kennedy is the reason why the Liberal Party is the Liberal Party right now. Like before him, they weren't like that. The Southern Dixies were racist. Southern Dixiecrats, Django put the bags on their heads. You understand what I'm saying? They were Democrats. That's true. It's okay to say it out loud. Poor people in the South back then were Republicans, or landowners were Republicans, because we live in a constitutional republic. We don't live in a Democrat. We're not supposed to be in a democratic republic. We're supposed to be in a constitutional republic. Somehow we ended up in a pseudo kind of democratic republic that has a little bit of land of sea in there, law of admiralty. Somehow they mixed it all up like a little gumbo. Communism, fascism, Marxism, democracy. Somehow that shit manifested into democracy, and we've been allegedly operating on that shit for the longest. We're a constitutional republic made of small, tiny factions of states and cities who have mutual like agreements based on the Constitution, and they have the right as a republic to defend the republic. There should be Republicans, because that's what constitutional republicans. Constitutional republic. Should have been Democrats. Somehow we ended up as Democrats, and black people love that shit, and neoliberal whites. And I'm gonna tell you a story. I met one of those, and I'm gonna get a lot of slack for this conversation right here, and I know that. But when we were in Arizona, I met one of those Black Lives Matter gay couples. And that's fucked up to say it like that, but hear me out. Like, so we lived in an apartment. They live below us. We have 4 kids. I have a big family. All right. So my kids like to run around, make noise. Every now and then it gets a little noisy. This chick, Black Lives Matter. She's gay. She's left leaning. She's a liberal. Was the worst person that I had ever met in my life. All she did was call the fucking people on us. I try to keep our kids quiet. It's 4 kids. How can you keep kids quiet, right? Just let me know. But she's steadily calling the police on me, steady putting me in situations, steady giving me side eye, instead of being a bitch in the apartment, right? But she's supposed to be so diverse, so understanding, so forgiving. She was the worst person that I ever met. Like, she was built like a jar of mayonnaise. She was not cute. She's like the people that we're all seeing on the TV saying extremist shit, feminism and misogynism and all that. And I'm gonna get some slack for that. And I'm just being honest. She was a complete bitch. She wasn't pleasant. Like, I'm not gonna front. I'd rather people be honest with me. If my kids are loud, hey, come knock on the door and be like, hey, you mind letting your kids, tell them to calm down? Sure. We try to tone it down. But as a black man, please keep the police away from myself and them, because inherently there has been an issue between people of color and police officers. And unjustly, people have been shot in the back. And I'm not white, so I know they shoot white people too, but I can only speak from what I identify as. And I identify as a person of color. I identify with being from the rural South. I'm from Mobile, Alabama, from the deep South. Like, there are politics in play that are just different from everywhere else. White people know what I'm talking about. There's certain things, there's a certain respect in the South. If you open your mouth and you say some racial shit, you're going to get punched the fuck out. Everybody minds their P's and Q's. But I'm not going to sit here and act like there isn't an issue with black people and police brutality. I'm not going to act like there isn't an issue between white poverty and police brutality. There is something about police brutality and poverty. They whoop white people ass all the time. They whoop Mexicans ass all the time. Shit. Poor Asians don't like the cops. It's a classism thing, guys. It really isn't racism. What I'm saying is everyone has a plight in America, but if you say it, someone's gonna be like, "Well, black people are privileged." I can see where you can say that at, like, yeah, based on the legality of the laws that they've passed for us, but I assure you, they're not following those fucking rules. If you ask a black person, white people are the most privileged fucking people in the world. Why do you say that, Marcus? You motherfuckers can cuss out a cop without getting shot. Black people get shot for far less. That's proven. White people get shot for far less. That's also proven. So do Mexicans. So does anybody in poverty. I assure you, you go to like the poor parts of England, those white people ain't to be fucked with either. I just think it's a poverty classism thing. I think racism is just prepped up. I think it's real because people believe in that stupid ass ideology that, oh my God, we're so different. The white man is pure. The black man is the original. Ask me where the fuck does that get me right now? I got a whole government on my ass right now and on your ass too with taxes, vaccines, unfair legislation. They're selling people into the prison system. The best thing that you can do right now is argue amongst each other who's the chosen race. Y'all some fucking morons. Welcome to Candid Talk. This is the Kickback. I don't have to keep it segmented. I don't have to do that right now. I really don't have to do it in general because it's my platform. It's my company. It's my business. Truth of the matter is, though, I'm going to tell you the truth. There's so much more that we could be dealing with that could help us as a whole, as opposed to sitting here giving each other reach arounds based on fucking racism. You guys got to do better. I don't care. I'm sure people gonna be out here like, oh, he's a white sympathizer or he's bootlicking. Look, you can eat a dick. I'm getting tired of this shit. I'm just completely tired of it. White people got their own problems. Mexicans got their own problems. Blacks got their own problems. Asians got their own problems. You know who ain't got their own problems? We talked about them earlier. They don't seem to have the problems we have. You don't find that weird? I said, find out who you can't talk about. We find out who ain't got our problems. Think about that. It's not anti-Semitic if you say it out loud. It's not. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying that's all of them, because I've met some good people from Israel. I've met some good people from Jewish communities who say a good Jew is a good Muslim and a good Muslim is a good Christian. Good Christian's a good pagan. If you're a good person, you're a good person. But if you're a shitty human being and you exhibit shitty human being like habits, guess what? You might be a shitty human being. Why is that so hard to say out loud? Like, I swear, like, this, what I'm doing right now, it's really be what I want to say to y'all, but branding, kickbacks, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to, like, I still got a family to feed, right? Like, I'm not doing this solely for money, but here we are 2 years now. I got a website to pay for. I have equipment I paid for. I kind of like what I do. I actually enjoy doing this shit to you. But, I mean, yeah, I still got mouths to feed. But I'm not going to sit here and do it for money. I'll just tell you the truth while I'm not making money. A good Jew is a good Christian. A good Christian is a good Muslim. And a good Muslim is a good pagan. Good pagan is a good Protestant. Good Protestant is a good Mormon. If you are a good person, I am not talking to you at all. If you understand that you didn't need your faith to give you morals, I'm talking about you. That is just your belief system. That's what you identify with. But you don't need that to govern you or use it as a compass because you're good no matter what. Good pagan, good Christian, good Muslim, good Jew. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to you shitty assholes who are propping up all of the shit that I'm talking about. The churches in their psyops. Oh my God, the church system. You guys got to be able to see the psyop. You guys got to be able to decipher when you're being lied to and use that discernment. The only problem with that right now is that a lot of people are putting that discernment behind Trump and hoping that he comes to save us because we don't want to look internally and find something to bring into to unite us. Because that's really what that is. We're waiting on someone to do it for us. But the truth is, it's going to start by me looking at you and being like, hey, man, I understand you are upset. But we can still have a meaningful conversation as to how my community can help your community, and both of our communities can benefit, the white and the black community. I am one of the most, I believe in mutual assistance. I believe in community to some extent. Like, we need each other, guys. We really need each other. You have no idea how much we need each other. And as long as we fight each other, they win. And who is they? The shadow government, the puppets, the deep state, whatever you want to call these people, the Illuminati, the Bilderbergs, the Bohemians, the Orsini's, the secret families. I don't care what you call them anymore. They're just a problem. What I'm saying is to you tonight, in Friday kickback mode, sipping. We need each other way more than you can imagine. You don't have to like the black race. The black race does not have to like the white race at all. Asians don't like nobody. Mexicans are on their own. But I assure you, we all have the same exact fucking problem inside of all of us. And it is deriving from a few sources. Because chaos requires organization. Infiltration requires organization. Destabilization requires organization. Racism requires organization. Conflict requires some form of organization. The people who are organizing our way of life have organized our issues also. And it's not hard when you bring a monetary system into play and show people that classism exists. They'll subjugate it into another lower level of racism based off class. Real shit. If you don't believe me, think about it. Have you ever seen a group of black people in a questionable area and you felt threatened? Me too. I'm black. I will definitely move the fuck out of the way for a bunch of little niggas. Yeah, I said it. In the same way that I'm gonna move the fuck out of the way for a group of skinheads. I'm not finna lie to you. I'm finna move out the way. I'm staying out of the way of that shit. If you bring it to me, God's will. But what I'm telling you, human nature, we are here to preserve ourselves. If I see a group of questionable anything, I am moving the fuck out of the way. There is nothing wrong with saying that out loud. I see a group of questionable leadership right now. I am pivoting myself the fuck away from this shit. I'm trying the best as I can. There's nothing wrong with saying that out loud. That is human nature to want to preserve oneself. What the problem is that you got people of different ethnicity preserving the wrong sides of shit. White people right now think that there is white guilt. Like, white people think they are being eradicated. And you are. I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you. How do I know? Because they were trying to eradicate the blacks. Why the fuck would you think that they wouldn't try to eradicate your ass? Or you think because they gave us syphilis in the Tuskegee experiments, they wouldn't give you opioids during the opiate pandemic? You didn't think that was possible? Pfft, bullshit. The same fluoride in my water is in your water, clown. This is why I find it funny. So for anyone talking shit, saying, well, we're just different. We're drinking the same fluoride water. We're eating the same poisonous food. There are BPAs in everything. There are forever chemicals in your asshole right now. Your toilet paper has BPAs. Toilet paper is not racist. You are not buying a black or white brand of toilet paper and it's still fucking killing you. It's probably linked to prostate cancer at this point. There's so many forever chemicals in toilet paper. Are you fucking kidding me? Y'all have the nerve to argue over the simplest of simple shit, but not realize you are all taking the same poisons. You motherfuckers have lost your mind. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you can sit here and play that racist shit and not act like your ass is drinking fluoride water. Fuck out of here. You think you exempt cause God made you white? Or God or the Israelites were black and that's supposed to be the fucking chosen people? You are drinking fluoride water together. You are using microwaves. I am smoking a cigarette right now. I have frequency-based objects around me. White people have the same plight as black people, but for some reason, we are stuck on fucking racism. They are poisoning everybody. Prove me wrong. Please, please, prove me wrong. They're not poisoning all of us. Frequency poisoning. That's not a thing. That shit's real. Got a whole fucking Wi-Fi box in everyone's house and you're not being fluoride in the water. If chemtrails ain't real, why are they trying to ban them? Make it make sense. Is there not a link between the vaccination schedule and autism? A moment of silence? Is there not a link between heart, ionosphere, weather manipulation, weather wars? Is there not a link between fires and smart cities? If there's a link, if you keep finding a fucking link to everything, then for God's sakes, people, accept the information. We're not telling you everything is a conspiracy theory because it's not. It's actually not. That's the crazy part. It's not a conspiracy theory that MK Ultra happened. It's fact. It's not a conspiracy theory that the Ira Contra scandal sold more cocaine in black neighborhoods than any point in history. That's fact. That's fact. There's no line in history saying that LSD didn't come from MK Ultra. Think about it. If all of this, if everybody has the same exact story to some extent, why the hell are we still fighting over skin color? Y'all so stupid now. Y'all fighting over gender. Well, I think a woman is in her mind. No, a woman is a woman who has a vagina, a uterus, eggs, and ovaries. Like they can give birth. That's a woman. What is a guy? A guy with a ball sack and a penis and some testosterone. That's a guy. I don't care if the guy fat and got titties. He's still a guy. Why is that so hard to say out loud? Why is the stuff that we think is taboo, it really isn't as taboo as you think it is? It's so hard to say out loud. It's the strangest shit in the world. And I don't understand it anymore. Because if you point out the obvious, you're a conspiracy theorist. Fluoride in the water is real. The CDC said it was one of the greatest ingenuities or innovations in the world. Fluoride poisoning was once one of the greatest ideas in the world. I want you to think about what I just said right there. Fluoride poisoning was once reveled as top innovations by the CDC. Boy, was that shit wrong as hell. The Tuskegee experiments happened. COVID happened, guys. In the event that you want to believe that you believe what you want. What I'm saying is this. I'm wrapping up. I'm going almost 2 hours tonight. I haven't done this in a while. This is a nice little kickback. Good times, right? When you got drunk, you done listen to me rant and make some really valid points. If you think I'm full of horse shit, then fine. I don't care. Whatever. Shit. Whatever. What I'm saying is there's too much evidence to say that I'm not full of shit. Now that there's enough evidence saying that there's something going on, whether you want to take it in or not, that's on you. But what I'm saying is that it's there and it's always been there, and it's not going anywhere because we don't know what it looked like. But if you look at it and you start asking questions like dual citizenship questions and who controls the media questions and who controls the entertainment questions, then you would understand. Take it how you want to. It ain't just them. It's a conglomerate or a network of families and organizations that are all on the same page. Believe it or not, I don't care. It is what it is. I just wanted to come on here tonight and shoot the shit with y'all and have a good time. What I'm saying is that you are all being lied to. Ooh, excuse me. Whether you believe it or not, it's entirely on you. But we're going to end this show on this note. For the people that do have it figured out, I welcome you to change the narrative regarding race. I'm not saying you have to like everybody. I'm not saying you have to love thy neighbor. What I'm saying is you may have the same problems as this person, and you don't have to like them, but you do have the same problem. Now, your problems may look different based on social engineering, environment, and whatever's going on around you, but I assure you, you have the same exact problem. So before I go, I want to say this. Thank you for following the Daily Rebel Hole. No matter what color, creed, race, or ethnicity that you are, if you found my page, we got something in common. Do you like me? Probably not. I know there's a lot of people on my page that absolutely hate the page but can't leave the page alone. That just want to use my page as a voice for their own platform, and that's fine. You can use your voice on my page all you want. Don't make you right. You're still an asshole, but you have that freedom. I'm gonna play that stupid ass game with you and say, yeah, you have that freedom. But always remember, I am not your enemy. I'm not trying to take any food out your mouth, and all of us ain't on that bullshit. Just like all white people ain't on that bullshit, all Asians ain't on that bullshit, all Mexicans ain't on that bullshit, and whatever other ethnicity is out there, everybody don't be on that bullshit. There's enough of us to sit here and tell them to go eat a dick and stand up to them, and I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. You don't have to go out here, rape, rob, and pillage. You just have to use a stern voice and stand up for yourself and hold hands within solidarity and say, hey, this guy on the side of me is down here in these trenches. And guess what? He white. This black guy on the side of me, he's down here in these trenches and he's actually trying to help his community in whatever form he wants to do it in. I hope my message resonates with y'all. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I'm not like your normal streamers. I really don't do this shit for views. I do it because I actually enjoy it and I want to push it further and I want to see how far I can go. Money is just the byproduct of my effort. I understand that. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you might have to compromise yourself. I'm not compromising myself for this shit. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to say how I feel. And we're just going to go from there. Because I'm watching all these other streamers and creators sit here and peddle useless information to y'all and play with y'all. And there's not a whole lot of good stuff coming out anymore. We're so far along right now that they had to tell you the pyramids in Egypt were power centers. We've reached that plateau where they're telling you the truth on certain shit. So that means we're coming towards the end, because otherwise they wouldn't have said shit. That debt is coming for them. And for the people who have banded with them, that debt will come. You elitists, you globalists, you people who have picked the devil, knowing that the man almighty above exists, or the man or the woman or the woman above exists, because I don't know what it is. Could be a man, could be a woman, could be both. I don't fucking know. But I know this. I know if I look deep down inside of me and listen to my heart and listen to my head, I could pretty much come across the fact that there might be something fucking wrong, and that's what your gut's telling you too. It ain't always anxiety. You're just in a survival mode, guys. So remember that. I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with me during the kickback. Follow me on all platforms, thedailyrabbithole.org. That's the website. Go by the website. Check out my merch. I'm going to wear my own merch eventually. Don't worry. Just support the platform if you want to. If not, I'll take a like. I'll take a follow. I'll take that. That's still support, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Your donations are appreciated. You guys have a great night, and this is the Rabbit Hole Report. I'm Marcus.